Locked on Target. Hi crew, welcome to this edition of Captain's Log, where we're going to be talking a little bit about my little girl crying and about a Twitter Sony scandal and what I think about that, right? So, let's get a cup of hot chocolate and let's share it together. All right, so just a little update about my family, and that's good hot chocolate. My baby girl is now crawling. She can't crawl very far forward. She has about a 3-foot radius before she gets too tired to crawl on longer. But that's an exciting thing. Now, it makes me kind of fearful for what she's going to crawl and get into, but it's still a thing, right? I'm excited, and hopefully she can start crawling and do all those like cute baby scoots that they do on YouTube and whatnot. Where they're sitting and they just scooch forward. I think that's so funny. But now let's get into a little bit. Okay, let's talk about the channel a bit. So I got my first subscriber that I have no clue who you are and no clue where I met you from or if I met you. And I'm going to say, yay, because someone is attracted to our channel or my channel, that I have no clue who you are, and I have not interacted with you. I have not befriended you in any way. So welcome to the crew, and 19 subs. I can't believe it. That's exciting for me because, again, I haven't been really telling real world people about this channel. I haven't tapped any of my contacts, if you will, besides a few very, very close friends and my family, immediate family. But beyond that, I haven't really been telling people in real life about my channel. So the majority of my subs are people that I've befriended online or talked to. So thank you guys. Thank you, all of you, for making this channel what it is. So I want to talk a little bit about fanboyism and about this new Sony hullabaloo. All right, so Sony for me has always had the most terrible, I mean terrible, customer service. Right? For example, in the gaming world, I have many examples of Sony products that I have bought, but here is one example. My PSP screen broke. I did not drop the PSP. I did not do anything to it. I just woke up one morning and looked over beside my bed, and there was a crack in my PSP. I was like, the what? And this is a guy who's never broken anything in my life, right? So I keep all of my electronics in pristine condition. There's a few controllers the C-stick has kind of gone wonky on, but that's from use of like 10, 12 years. That's... I don't break my stuff. I don't drop my stuff. I'm sure my daughter's going to fix that for me, but I don't break things. So I've had 3 products break on me. All of them have been Sony products, incidentally, but I will not talk about that. Oh, well, besides my 360 red ringing, I'll give that 4th, but that was beyond my control too. So, my PSP screen broke. It was cracked from the inside. You could see it was a pressure crack, not a falling crack. And there's a difference in the way the glass is made. Literally, the crack looked wider from the bottom, unlike if it was a pressure crack or a scratch. It would be cracked wider up top or from the front because that's where the pressure happened. So the pressure happened from the inside coming out. I sent it to Sony to get the screen repaired because I thought it was still under warranty. I'd only owned the thing for like a month and a half at that point. Nope. My fault. I don't know what happened, but nothing fell on it. Nothing. I didn't step on it. No one stepped on it. No, but the screen cracked. My fault. They want to charge me $200 to do the screen replacement. I said, ha 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 ha. I build computers and I've messed around with electronics. It's not going to be that hard to do the screen thing. But do what's right and do what's right. You know, your product broke. Okay? Well, it is our professional opinions that your product, that you broke this product. Okay, so, you know, that's fine. That left a negative taste in my mouth to the point where it took me 4 years after launch for me to buy a PlayStation again. And what finally sold me on a PlayStation 3 was Infamous. Watching that trailer when it was like $10 on Amazon, I was like, okay, I'll forgive Sony enough if they produce to buy a PS3 now that they're $200 and to buy all these old games that are good that are $10 piece. But yeah. So when this user on Reddit that says, Sony, I got my account stolen, okay? Someone deactivated my account on my PS3 or PS4, activated on someone else's or on their own, which Sony won't tell me where it's at. Charged $600 on my credit card, and I can't reverse these charges. Otherwise, Sony holds the right and will ban my account permanently, which means I will lose all my digital purchases. That does not surprise me. Okay. Oh yeah, and I forgot the kicker of this. Sony has taken it under account that this is a thing, and will not get the kid's account back to him before the 30-day period is up, right? So basically, Sony will refund him $150 out of the $600, but it's in PSN credit, and it's not going to be in cash back in his bank account, which kind of stinks for him, and he won't be able to recover his account until for another 30 days, or I guess 26 days now, because that's when it was posted. I hate to tell you this, guys, but Sony hasn't been good on customer service, well, ever, okay? Doesn't surprise me. So when you buy a Sony product, expect that type of service, okay? You may hate on Microsoft all that you want. I hate on Microsoft too, okay? I hate that I had to upgrade to Windows Vista to play Halo 2 on my machine. I hate that I had to, you know, pay for Windows Live. Thankfully, I had an Xbox at the time, and I just used my Xbox Live account. But I feel like they impeded the Halo 2 community on Windows Live. And oh my gosh, Windows Live. I don't even know where to begin with that. It was bad service to begin with, and then now almost all the games that were published on Windows Live that Microsoft forced Windows Live into don't work on modern PCs. So yes, Microsoft has its fair share of junky practices, and yeah, just not in touch with the world, right? Just not in touch with what consumers actually want and need. So I will always hold Microsoft in contempt. But when I look back at their PR actions and their customer service, what I remember of the 360 era is a sick kid getting a signed copy of Halo 4. A sick kid getting a signed copy of Halo 3. A kid that has cancer gets and loves football gets professionally signed or copies of Madden signed by sports professionals. These are the PR actions that Microsoft takes that Sony is just like, you know what? Nah, whatever. We're just going to we're just going to make snarky, cool kind of commercials for our product, and that will sell it because we're the king of really spin and actually producing good content through third parties. Sony has great third party management. but man, do they stink at customer service. And this is as a customer service professional, or was a customer service professional myself. I have every intention as a consumer to buy neither the Xbox One or the PS4 until they can give me a reason to own them, which, you know, Halo 5, as much as you guys probably hate that, is probably a reason to own an Xbox One for me, because I like Halo. I'll take that back. I like Halo 1. I kind of like Halo 2. I hate Halo 3. I kind of am okay with Halo 4. So, from what I hear, Halo 5 is Halo 4 and an HD skin. To which I say it's probably not worth owning a console over. Put that thing on PC. I'll buy it for PC. I'm not going to buy it for an X1. I'm not going to buy an X1 for one game. But conversely with PS4, what do I have to look forward to? The system seller for me was Second Son. Meh. I mean, open world games are so prevalent now. You know, I get the same enjoyment out of Far Cry 3 or, you know, Saints Row 4 than I get out of Infamous games. And heck, I think Saints Row is more fun now. I love Infamous and the setting and everything, but if I'm just going apples to apples for open world sandbox superhero sim, Saints Row has it in the spades, and it's funnier to boot. I mean, heck, Dubstep Gun has given me so much pleasure in that game that I just can't imagine it. So I'm gonna pause and take another sip. So yeah, I salute you with my Scout salute. I'm an Eagle Scout, and that's what I kind of do, the Eagle Scout salute. Not a soldier salute, which is two finger, or I think it's two fingers. I'm not a military man, but I do the when I sign off. That's my sign off. Is the Boy Scout salute. But you know that. Sorry, I don't. That's an interesting piece of trivia. But oh gosh, I was going to talk about Nintendo, but I've lost my train of thought. I know where I'm going. It doesn't surprise me that Sony is like this. It just stinks that people are realizing it a little too late. But none of these companies are in it for the consumer. Okay, none of these companies, I would say, are even consumer friendly. Microsoft is probably the most consumer friendly, and that's a scary thing to say. Okay, let me repeat this. I am not a Microsoft fan. I think they put their foot in their mouth and they try to cram services down our throats that are not very useful. I.e. Connect. I like the Connect. Just no games for it. I like every other use of Connect. Just no games. Besides Dance Central. But yeah, that's really what I want to talk about. And I want to talk about a little bit about Nintendo because I'm a huge... If I'm a fanboy, and I hate that term, I would probably be a fanboy of Nintendo or classified as a Nintendrone, okay? Out of all of these. But really, I mean, last generation, I had a Wii, a 360, and a PS3. This generation, I will buy your console if you have good games for it, which is why I own a Wii U and I own a gaming PC. I have no reason to buy a PS4 X1, other than to play maybe with Alloy 7. That's my primary motivator, is generally when I buy a console, it's because I want to play a game with a specific person. That's how it goes. But yeah, Nintendo just seems to be out of touch with the Western world, which is completely and totally understandable to me. So it is hard to get beyond the environment that you are raised in and grow up. In Japan, the reason why games they don't have online functionality that well is 90% of the people can walk a block to a cafe where they have products set up where you can play in multiplayer. Let me repeat that. There is a gaming store or convention within maybe a 10-minute walk or subway ride of a lot of Japan besides the rural places in Japan. A lot of the market share and a lot of gaming is done at these places. That is why, for instance, online functionality just didn't happen, because there's no need for it in Japan. It just wasn't a market. Here in the States, where, you know, I grew up 30 minutes from the nearest Walmart and like 30 minutes from my closest friend that I love to hang out with, internet is a thing. Online functionality is a thing. Now, Nintendo is a games company. They make entertainment experiences. They don't have the cultural sensitivities that is necessary to operate in a world market. They're fighting cultural pressures and actively fighting against what they have been raised to believe about what makes a Japanese business run, just by engaging in some of our Western practices to the extent that they are. And I don't think we get this as Americans or just as Westerners in general. And I will say this to my European friends. I'm not trying to speak for you, and I'm not trying to speak for all Americans. But if you're of the Western mindset and of the Western worldview, we don't understand the differences between our cultures to the extent that they are. We think that everyone thinks like us. No, they do not. There are different, not forms of logic, but different forms of worldviews, different forms of values, different... I mean, I can get into this all day and night, but Nintendo is trying, but they are failing. Failing so hard, and that is their negative, right? They don't understand what's going on with YouTube. They are neutering Nintendo of America from doing anything because, you know, that's just how they see it. I mean, it's just one of those things where, you know, they announced the NX for their shareholders. Shares go up by 30%, but what does that net effect have on the gamer, average gamer today? You know, if you're on the fence about buying Wii U, I would say, yeah, buy it. But with the NX announcement, not saying it's doom and gloom, I actually think the NX is going to be something completely different and is going to be like a hybrid of a console/portable experience. So I think what it's going to be is the gamepad with a home base, but you can take it on the go as well. I think that's what it's going to be. It's its own system, but it has pretty much worked like works on a cloud-based thing when you're away from it. So I think that's where they're going, especially with their partnership with Dina. I think that's network infrastructure. I don't think Dina is going to be making many games for Nintendo. I think Dina, they're just getting their shares in Dina to get knowledge to how to run a multi-million user network that they run on Android and successfully run games like Blood Brothers, which has 2.7 million concurrent users. That's where I think Nintendo's going with this partnership. I don't think they're going to be making mobile games like the next core Mario. I think we might see Mario versus Donkey Kong on mobile, but we're not going to see. It's not going to be first party core games. It's going to be spin-offs, which is fine. I like that. I would actually play Mario versus Donkey Kong on my phone as opposed to my 3DS So my phone is everywhere, right? My 3DS is not everywhere. I don't take it with me. I can't open it up for a puzzle, while I'm out doing groceries and waiting in line because the checkout's 20-minute long a line. That type of thing. I can do that with most games on my phone. But, it's just a different experience. But, if I had to pick what console at this point in 2015 I would recommend to people, obviously going to be a Wii U. I mean, it's the only one with games. Go PC, Wii U at this point. Who knows? PS4 and X1 may change, but it's been a year. Been a year and a half. E3's around the corner. Prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong, because I just feel bad about this console generation for whatever reason. Like, it's not a good thing for gaming in general. It's a net loss for us if this is how it's going to be. No games, new console, no killer apps, no innovation, no nothing. The only thing that we're doing is repeating and repeating and repeating. We don't have a new genre. We don't have new anything besides VR. That's the one thing we have. And let's just say current gen consoles are inadequate to run VR. Most high-end PCs are inadequate to run VR. My PC that I just got that is inadequate to run VR properly at 90 frames, 1080p. On two channels at 90 frames a second, 1080p is a lot to ask of any hardware. Any hardware. But yeah, I digress. So, yep, in summary, all these companies are bad and good at some point, right? So they all create experiences that we love. We will continue buying them. Even PC and Steam does stupid stuff, right? So, you got to take the good with the bad. There's no good 100% great console or whatever. I still maintain that my Dreamcast is probably my favorite console of all time. But it's, it's just one of those things where you just you shouldn't play favorites, okay? Go where the best experiences are and know yourself as a gamer to know what those experiences are. All right, so that's my assessment of this. But as it stands right now, Xbox One and PS4 just don't offer any experiences that are compelling, that aren't also on PC, and I will wait for Axiom Verge to come to PC. And I'm actually considering buying a PS4 for Axiom Verge. Isn't that crazy? But I'll wait for PC because it's just easier that way, right? Make games. So again, thank you for tuning in to this Captain's Log. Sorry for rambling a little bit about this, but it's a topic that I'm passionate about, that people just don't understand that there's positives and negatives to all of these companies. And when you buy a product, expect what they have historically been. Don't look at them as rose-colored glasses. Don't try to make them better than what they are or treat them like a friend. They are not your friends. They are there to take your money. Okay? That's what they are. They are akin to a vending machine. Think of them as vending machines. You give them money, they give you product. That's it. You don't owe them any allegiance. That'd be silly. So, again, thank you for tuning in, and until we meet again, stay on target.
Thanks for tuning in, and my heart goes out to this random user on Reddit who had their account stolen. If you're in the mood for something funny, go ahead and click that XCOM video up there, and as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This is your boy, Captain Chris, and peace out, crew.